have a lot of stuff to talk about in this community, and one of them being the racism and the whitewashing, and Netease practically enabling that behavior. And I just want to put in two things, my 2 cents, before I get started and tell y'all the definition of whitewashing and how much it affects people in the real world. Y'all justifying a multimillionaire company's whole behavior, pessimistic behavior, and negligence to catering towards the black side of the IDV community is why racism is so prominent in this community, and it's the reason why was comfortable enough to call Patricia a monkey. And it's another reason why this company was comfortable enough to steal Mika Bazant's art piece during BLM of 2020. They stole that art piece and then used it for comedic purposes. I don't know how black people and black children asking to not get shot is funny, but yeah, let's see how Netease can respond to that. It's been years since that incident, and I still haven't forgotten. Folks might have, I don't know why, but ever since that moment, I realized that I needed to talk about this stuff and the importance of representation in this community. And it's the main reason why I try to talk about other communities and also try to be aware and listen to those said communities whenever they also state their opinion. And people who try to downplay it and try to say that it doesn't matter, mind you, whitewashing is the reason why so much erasure is going on in history, in today's timeline as we speak. I'm not saying this to bash people, but it's about time we start holding Netease accountable. This isn't to bash other content creators, this isn't to bash anybody besides Netease, the multimillionaire company that has enough proper technology to do research on these two black characters and the other dark skin and people of color characters in this game. I just need y'all to know. Netease is a multimillionaire company. Their feelings will not get hurt if we call them out on their racism. If anything, it'll just make them do better, and it'll make them see that these people actually care about the game. And it's weird how Netease is the same company who will listen to their server when it comes to Risk Taker's dress and Margaritha's legs and stuff, or with Keegan's new S tier that was supposed to be in spyglasses. They took it back to optimize it, but they didn't think to fix up Patricia, get rid of that monkey skull. I've been asking for people to get rid of that monkey skull for freaking years. I've been asking about that, and people keep saying, oh, it's a part of her culture. Why out of all the animals that get sacrificed in her culture, you chose the monkey and then made her dislike be monkeys? Are we serious? And then the racism that followed behind it, a content creator literally referred to her as a monkey. A great example of this would probably be what we're seeing right now with Patricia's skin. As we speak, I changed the settings on CapCut, adjusted it a bit to make it look like how people are expressing. Apologies, I cut off there. I basically changed it to how people think the lighting is supposed to be, quote unquote, when in reality that's not what the lighting looks like. And then people using actresses like a knock and all that stuff for a justification for the Netease whitewashing Patricia. Just know that I can tell that most of y'all aren't black. It's a huge thing when you notice when somebody's black and when somebody's not black, because using a model who uses makeup and is under different lighting and is dark skinned, her and Patricia both are dark skinned, but she's darker than Patricia. And then to use other color for y'all to use color palettes is what really astounds me. It just shows how representation is a huge need for the community. On to the definition of whitewashing. Whitewashing is basically the erasure of a culture or historic event to make the oppressors, aka white people who oppressed different communities and cultures, look good. It's so that they won't feel bad or guilty, and to basically benefit from the privileges that they gave themselves within society, within today's system today. That's why when people try to like say that it's not that deep, I know what you are. You're comfortable within the comfortability of your privilege, and you don't want to remove that, because if you remove that, that makes you equal like us. And at some point, y'all, the thing is that people who are racist and who wish to deny the history that happened within this country, within other countries, they want to deny that because at some point they truly believe that the people they wronged will get revenge. That's literally how the oppressors were. There is a literal clip out there of a literal white person saying, "I'm scared you'll get revenge on us if we gave you guys reparations and allowed y'all the same equal rights as us." They know that they have the privilege that they have today, that they're benefiting from, but won't do it. That's why most of the stuff that's happening today, people outside of the majority are not surprised. What does this have to do with Patricia exactly? It has everything to do with Patricia. Patricia in herself is representation. No matter how you guys want to perceive it, representation is a huge big deal. It's the main reason why people try to generalize black people whenever one black person does something, and then try to say it's not all of us when it comes to themselves. They don't see themselves in that aspect like how they do other communities. Patricia was an enslaved child who grew up to be a beautiful young black woman who also was a product of assault. I need y'all to understand that. Netease created a black woman who was a product of assault and was so deeply hurt knowing that her mother was a victim of that she had an identity crisis. I need y'all to understand how deep that is. Netease went on a topic about that's literally prominent within the community. There have been many occasions where black people have tried to look back on their family tree to see their great-grandparents, their great-great-grandparents, the stuff that they went through, and to find out, Patricia found out that her father was a white man. Do you know how bad that is for her and for other people who find that out? It's mentally damaging, because that means their ancestors were a product of assault. There was no consent. It's the reason why whitewashing is such a huge deal and why it's such a problem. Whitewashing doesn't just start from video games. It doesn't just start from movies or media or TV shows. It starts with history. It's the reason why we don't know the stuff that we know today. It's the reason why everything is so narrowed, because they know that what they did was bad. The history is so bad that they're literally trying to erase it. They're trying to deny it. To Patricia, William, and Nibe. Patricia, William, Nibe, and Kevin, to be exact. 4 people who got whitewashed, who suffered from whitewashing. Patricia is not ashy. She does not look like that. And people who are saying lighting, you do not know what lighting is, and I can tell you're not an artist. Because if you had known that wasn't lighting, you guys would also agree. It's very clear as to who knows what art is and to who doesn't, and to who's black and who's not. It's the same with William. There is no lighting because he is covered in a hood when it comes to his costume. So y'all really can't even blame lighting on that. And then it's the erasure of their features, and along with the fact that they make William to look like this aggressive looking man. Then once we hear his backstory, he's facing racism, same with Patricia. And we find out he's this sweet, gentle giant. Because, you see the problem? They're both sweet people, but then you see how the game portrays them. They look angry. One person has a monkey to help with their voodoo. And then we have another who has an angry face, but then when we see his debut poster, he looks genuinely scared. The representation is a huge, important importance within the game, and I need y'all to like lock in and email them about it. This also correlates to the whimsy skins along with the Valentine's Day skins. I'm not saying guys don't buy it, otherwise you're a bad person. I'm saying guys buy it and complain at the same time. Show some criticism. If you want the game to do better, if you want the game to make better costumes and such, then you gotta critique them. I've seen so many people complain about costumes and such, and it's just like, you guys don't critique Netease enough, so they don't see the whole point in actually trying with these costumes. They used to try a lot with these costumes and then just stopped. They didn't see the whole point anymore. They don't see the whole point. If y'all are just gonna eat it up, then why should they bother trying? That's why we keep saying the same blonde, generic stuff on these characters. And notice how compared to the counterparts that Patricia and William have, because they're the only two black characters there, and then notice how they get treated compared to their white counterparts. Huge difference. And I also say this because there are other people of color within this game, and the representation they have, it's there, but it's also a struggle as well. There's a problem within that area too. And the reason why I can't talk about it too much is because A, I'm black, I'm just black. I have to listen to the people who are a part of those cultures, which is what I do. That's the whole point I'm saying. I'm not saying listen to me and bend to my will. I'm saying listen to me and understand that what I'm saying is rightful critiquing. I don't want Netease to crumble and like not sell their stuff anymore. I'm saying that I want Netease to do better. That's the whole point of this. Whenever we talk about whitewashing and black history, we're not saying this so then you'll feel guilty and just run, leave and never come back. The whole point is that we want to live in harmony and unanimously, while simultaneously understanding that the only way to do that is to do better. You can't benefit from the privilege that you have and then be confused when others are rightfully upset and calling out said privilege. Because that just shows the willful ignorance that people choose to have. It's another reason why I don't understand as to how you guys are surprised by the racism that's prominent in this community. You guys literally let somebody be comfortable enough to call Patricia a monkey. Multiple people do that. And then nobody ever holds them accountable because they call it rage bait. Rage bait is me putting ice in my milk when I'm eating cereal, not saying racial slurs, and then defending creeps and predators and pedophiles. How I'm going to end the video with this. Email Netease, enjoy the game while simultaneously criticizing it whenever it does something wrong. That's the whole point of enjoying a game. It's the main reason why Nintendo added a non-binary aspect to Tomodachi Life. How is it that y'all literally were complaining about that years ago? Some of y'all were kids, so y'all don't remember, but I remember folks were complaining about that and complaining about wanting LGBT relationships in Tomodachi, and Nintendo literally apologized for that. How is it that you guys did that but can't come after a multi-millionaire company from China? Come on now, lock in and get your acts together. Jeez. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Sorry that I was stuttering and moving all over the place, but I keep having to repeat myself. It's annoying. It gets to a point. I shouldn't have to repeat myself to tell y'all to respect black characters and black people. Good day and good night. I'm leaving. And yeah, if y'all have any complaints, put it in the comments down below. I will read and listen. Goodbye.